Okay, welcome everyone. This is the uGameHub.com Sunday, February 26th already. Wow. 2017 hangout for United Games and the FireFan app. And I'd like to welcome viewers for checking in with us, whether you watch this live or on replay. Thank you for taking the time today to catch up with us. We got a few updates going on today to update you with, and I'm again flying solo. Both Richard and John are out weather-wise and traveling and not feeling well. So I'm a little under the weather myself too, but I got a funny story to tell you about that here in a minute. It's not the whiskey flu either, so I wish it was, but it's not. Anyway, again, welcome viewers for checking in with us here this Sunday, the 26th of February, 2017. One of the things we used to do, we don't do it as much anymore in these hangouts, is talk about kind of current events. And the only reason I want to bring it up now is that I've got a daughter that's at the Mardi Gras, and she texted me last night about the truck that ran into the crowd, and really scared me a little bit. She's a smart gal, and she's a junior, I guess, now at college, and so they took a road trip, her and her 3 or 4 of her girlfriends, and to the Mardi Gras. And I was just down in New Orleans about 2 months ago, and that area down there, I mean, it's never been really safe anyway, but and it's filthy. I mean, anyone who's been to Bourbon Street will tell you that. But that French Quarter has really expanded since the Hurricane Katrina. But the problem is it didn't improve. They just slapped it all back together. People just kept on partying. Anyway, just one of those dad things that is going on. But we'll get in here. I don't want to talk about current topics. I don't want to get back into that. That just takes up too much time. We got so much going on here with this FireFan app. There's a lot we want to chit chat about today and give you an update. And the main update is that the NCAA basketball. They got NCAA basketball is now on your app, and you're able to play it. And again, I can't stress the pregame. I got to tell you, yesterday there were 146 NCAA basketball games. I didn't get around to do them all, and I'm not even sure they had all 146 on there. But I'm telling you that with the pregame, you could easily score 2,000-3,000 points. With that pregame. I've got to go back and evaluate that. In fact, I'll do it next week. But the reason why they got the NCAA on now is because of March Madness, which is right around the corner. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. And I've talked to some people, and I've got some calls this week. With one of the biggest earner in FireFan is a friend of mine. He is the biggest earner. It doesn't matter. We're players here, but he's an affiliate and he's an earner. So he understands, and he gets some really good information. And when he can share it, he'll share it with me if I ask, which I do every time I talk to him. And I'm going to be talking to him this week. His code name is Bob. We'll call him Uncle. Yeah, we'll call him Uncle Bob. We'll call him Uncle Bob. Anyway, Uncle Bob was telling me that the FireFan app, the way they're going to be rolling it out the rest of this year are certain things like the Kentucky Derby. They may have the Derby on. I don't know how they'll do a horse race, but they're thinking about doing it. And then like the Indianapolis 500. I don't know how many people watch. That is one race where in one time the whole year long, I'll sit and watch that whole race from start to finish. And if you think baseball is boring, you think golf is boring, try watching a 500-mile race when they go around a lap 200 times, the same lap 200 times. It's not actually boring. It's actually exciting if you know how to, if you have interest in it and a passion for it like I do. So I'm not a big NASCAR fan. I don't mind NASCAR. I just don't watch too much of it. I do like IndyCar racing, and I'll watch Formula 100 or Formula 1. Yeah, and but Indianapolis 500, I'll sit and watch the whole thing from start to finish and make a day of it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of history there. It helps build. The same thing with the Derby. Kentucky Derby, first weekend in May. This year, I actually plan on being there. I've been invited many times. Got a really good, very close friend that grew up there and is a pretty big wig there, and has invited me every year, and I haven't done it. This year, I'm going to try and see if I can make it, pending other issues, like kids in school stuff. So, but anyway, going back to the FireFan app, they've implemented NCAA college men's basketball, and they've done this, for March Madness. And in our previous hangout that we did a few weeks back, or actually last week, where I mentioned we're going to do a bracket, and because I've been evaluating a lot of these NCAA basketball teams, and there's some really good sleepers in here this year. We're still going to see the big ones win, the Villanova or whoever else is going to win. But you're going to see like a Wisconsin Green Bay. That is a really good team, and that team I can see making it to the Sweet 16. Wisconsin Green Bay. Hey, Richard, how you doing?
Doing good.
Okay, I'm just chatting. Appreciate you joining us here. I'm just chatting about the FireFan app again, and yeah, they put on the NCAA men's basketball there. They did it for the March Madness, so we can have March Madness, which is just a few days away. So I was just talking about some of the teams that were going to be on it, and Wisconsin Green Bay being one of them. But Wisconsin Green Bay is a good one, and one team that people are going to say, LSU. My high school team could beat LSU this year. They're just not that good. I honestly, I haven't watched them, but they're just not good, especially when they're on the road. When they're at home, maybe they have a chance of beating some scumbag team, but if they're on the road, they can't beat themselves. So anyway, but that's just an example. We're going to have many others on there once the bracket comes out, and we're able to pick some teams and score. We only have a few days to do it, so I've got to look at the calendar and go up. But we changed the topic from off of soccer to an update this week on our webpage. The reason why we did that is because we just had a lot of people wanting to know more about the NCAA and what we're going to do with it. And you can't even play soccer yet, so there's no sense in doing it yet. So next week's topic is going to be the NCAA tournament, and we'll probably have that maybe for the entire month of February. It just makes sense to do it that way, and until another topic comes in. But the interesting thing that I wanted to mention about my conversation with this, my buddy, Uncle Bob, codename Uncle Bob, was that that's how the FireFan app is going to be implemented this year, with as certain, when Major League Baseball starts, that's when you're going to see them roll it out. In fact, it may come before soccer. I don't know. Hockey as well. Hockey's being implemented right now, being played right now, but it's not on our app. So, I know they're anxious to get a lot of these in. But if you look and see what they've done for the NCAA men's basketball, it's pretty intense, extremely intense. What they've done. They had 146 games yesterday. And have all those and have them live broadcast. You can pay anyone. It's crazy. So we'll see how it continues, and especially with this March Madness tournament coming up here in March, as the regular season and championship tournaments wind down, which are this weekend and next weekend as well, and get into March. Richard, are you a big NCAA men's basketball fan? Do you watch much of that at all?
No, not as much, but I'm kind of looking forward to the hockey side of it. Yeah. Kind of where I'm really excited about the hockey end, once they get it kind of organized, and that's going to be such fast play, to put down your decisions will be real quick on that.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting on on how they they roll some of this stuff out. But we were watching we did a hangout a little while back about the results of the Super Bowl, and And I did some research, after the fact, and it was interesting. Tom Brady came out and said, and I mentioned this in one of our previous hangouts, that that second half there were like 30 plays, from the middle of the third quarter on, that if they didn't go their way, the game's over. They're like 30 plays, 30.
Whoa.
But and he won his sixth, Super Bowl title. He's the best of all time. So you can't argue it anymore. It's the way it is, And I failed to remember that, or failed to factor in that, when you hit plateaus like that, it's not meant to be easy. It's not going to be handed to you. It's not going to be given to you. You've got to earn it. You have to earn it. And that's exactly what he did. He went out and earned it. He could have easily laid down. I'm sure there's a time during that game, sitting on the sidelines, middle of the third quarter, behind 31 or 28-6 or 7, whatever it was. And he said, "Oh, this game's over." He just threw an interception, another interception. No, I mean, he had his head down. He was, but it was easy to give up. But he didn't do it. But then again, there was 30 plays that he said. I went back and checked. It was closer to 15 because, there were 30 plays that did go their way. But had they not gone their way, they would have had a second chance. It was like 2nd and 10, and they got the first down. They could have gone third, these different catches, Edelman's catches and stuff. But it was a very, very good game, and it was interesting. I was talking to a real good friend about it, not too long ago, and it was right after it was about a week or so after the game, and I asked him, I said, "Do you think that was the best Super Bowl of all time to watch?" And he goes, "Yes, I do, but I don't think it was a very good game. I thought it was an epic comeback, but it was not a very good game. It wasn't really that much fun to watch all the way up to the third quarter, but once the comeback started, it was an unbelievably good game to watch." So there's been other games like, I don't know, Tennessee, and when they lost that game where, it was finger biting the whole time. And that's the point he was trying to make, that it wasn't fingernail biting the whole time, up until the comeback started. So, anyway, Richard, just wanted to keep it really kind of short, like I have been these last couple of hangouts here. Appreciate you coming on today. I'm glad you're feeling better. You look great, and like the glasses and the smile, of course, and I'm sure our fans and players are glad to see you back here, and everything else as well. So anyway, thank you, viewers, for checking in with us again. We'll be back next week, and the topic's going to be the NCAA March Madness tournament, and we'll have the brackets then. Hopefully we'll have the bracket. We'll just have to fill it out if it's not already filled out. And this timing is going to be a little bit of an issue too, because we don't want the bracket, even if the tournament starts and we haven't shown our bracket yet, we'll probably put the bracket up on the website just so that some viewers that are very interested in it. There are a few that can see what our picks are going to be, because I expect them to be pretty good. But when all push, comes to shove at the end, it's going to be the big boys at the dance, the Final Four, and you might have one, but you're not going to have I don't think you'll have a Butler or a Florida Golden State or anything like this, in the Final Four. But I do think you'll see many upsets up there. It all depends on, at every single one of these tournaments, you have 4 or 5 buzzer beaters. And as I've told my children when they were playing sports, that, if you get through that second game in a tournament, then you have a legitimate chance of winning the whole tournament. But things still have to go your way, especially when there's 64 teams in the tournament. So we'll see how it goes. But Richard, any closing comments? Anything you want to say to fans?
It's really good to be back, and I'll be catching up on a lot of stuff and joining you guys more often now, and we'll definitely give you some more insight on what's going on.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate that, and appreciate you making the effort to get back here with us. I'm sure fans wanted to see you. So thank you, viewers, for checking in. From Richard, John, and myself, we'll look forward to seeing everyone next week when the topic will be the NCAA tournament. And again, whether you're watching this live or on replay, or even possibly listening to this, on one of the internet radio stations we broadcast on the internet, thank you for taking the time to check in with us. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody next week. Just stay safe, keep your head low, and enjoy the journey, as I always say. So thanks, everyone. Take care. We'll see you next week.